We're going to take a break in just a couple minutes. But before we do, I just wanted to share one thought and welcome you as well. I'm Mark Kramer. I'm Managing Director at FSG, a Senior Advisor to the Shared Value Initiative, and Michael's partner in creating this idea of creating shared value and in helping deepen the thinking and knowledge about it. I think today's presentation, this panel and Michael's presentation, is tremendously important. Because I so often meet people around the world who think about shared value as just another term for CSR. And I think what Michael has made clear, what this panel has made clear, is that it's really core to business strategy. It's not about CSR. Not that CSR isn't important, not that other ways that companies engage with society aren't important, but that this is really about strategy. And we had an interesting session yesterday. The Leadership Council, those who have been most active in supporting the Shared Value Initiative, met. And we talked about a new Harvard Business School case we've developed. And actually, Michael and I have developed now 5 Harvard Business School cases on creating shared value, different aspects of it, that are now available through the business school. And we talked about a case involving a fertilizer company, Yara. And it was a great example of everything Michael's described about the competitive positioning of that individual company in how it made money by selling to smallhold farmers. But it also emphasized that in selling to smallhold farmers, in this case it was in Tanzania, they couldn't do it unless the logistics were in place to get the inputs to the farmers. They couldn't do it unless the financing was in place so that farmers could pay for the inputs. They couldn't do it unless the port was functioning well, unless there were refrigeration facilities to transport the food. They couldn't do it unless property rights and government policies that restricted exports were changed and corrected. They couldn't do it because of so many dimensions of what other businesses were doing, what NGOs were doing, and what government was doing. And so at the same time that the conversation this morning has emphasized what shared value means to an individual company, there's also an element of shared value that creates a common agenda across the sectors, across business, government, and nonprofits. And there is a new kind of collaboration that we are seeing, something we often call collective impact. That is a particular way of bringing cross-sector groups together to solve problems that no one group can solve alone. And so part of the power of shared value is the thinking that it brings to individual companies. But the other part, and something we'll talk about more over the next 2 days, is how it affects the thinking across sectors, how it enables companies to compete individually through some new ways of collaborating. So with that thought, I invite you to take a 15-minute break, and we will be back shortly after 11 o'clock to reconvene. Thank you very much.